Hi, this is Seema, and today I'm going to bring you a new lesson in regards to talking about the word names. Well, what's your name or may I take your name is a very common expression or a very common thing that we say when we want to talk about the word name, correct? However, speaking good English is about using the same word in various different ways in different conversations. So therefore, today I'm going to bring you a lesson which will help us use this word, that is name, in various different ways. We are, however, going to find the different kind of names that people have, okay? My name is Seema, right? But I've got probably various names. Let's see what kind of names we've got in the English language. All right, the first name is probably the most common name that we hear about. It's your full name. So your full name is comprised of your first name, your middle name if you have one, and your last name. My first name is Seema. My last name could also be called my surname, or what we call as family name. And your middle name could be just any other name that you are known by, or it could also be your father's name. So when someone, tells you to give you their full name, they are expecting you to give your first name, your last name. You may or may not give your middle name, okay? All right, the next one is a nickname. A nickname can also be called a pet name. Well, what is a nickname? A nickname is a name that people call you by, but it's not an official name. Okay, so maybe your name is Victoria. So someone might just call you Vicky. Maybe your name is Thomas, and someone might just call you Tom. Maybe your name is Christopher, and you're called as maybe Chris. Right? So nicknames are not your official name, like your full name, but they are names that people just call you by. It could be in your family or your friends. Okay? Sometimes nicknames are also based on personality. So, if I'm particularly chubby, someone might call me, hey, chubby. Or if I'm left-handed like I am, I may be called a lefty. Okay? If you are a little bit too sweet, you may be called sugar by your friends. Okay? So a nickname could be a pet name, or it could be a name based on your personality. Okay? The next one is a maiden name. A maiden name is only used for women. Okay? So guys do not have a maiden name. Okay? A maiden name is a name used by a woman before marriage. Well, sometimes women change their last name when they get married, right? When they do that, they have a maiden name, which is the name or their last name before they got married. And that's what their maiden name is. Okay, so your maiden name cannot be your last name after you get married. It's your last name before you were married. Okay. The next name is a pseudonym. Okay, watch the spelling here, but the pronunciation is pseudonym. Okay, this is an official name used by professionals, but this is used as a name which is different from the real one. So the pseudonym is not the real name. It is an official name used by professionals or anybody who wants to kind of, not give away their real name for whatever reasons. Okay. A pen name is used by writers. A lot of times, writers, especially when you see their book, it's written by somebody, but that may not be their real name. That could very well be their pen name. Not every time, but it could be their real name sometimes. Okay, and a stage name is something that is used by, well, the word stage. So it talks about people in the entertainment industry. It could be musicians. It could be actors. It could be people who are singers. I know a couple of singers who don't use their real name, but they use what they call as a stage name. Okay, and you then have an alias name. An alias name is used by two people. It could be used either by criminals to deceive people. Criminals obviously do not want to keep a record of what they've done, right? So therefore, they will not use their name. They will use an alias name because they want to deceive people and not trace their bad work to anybody who would be able to name them for doing it. Okay? An alias name could also be used by anybody else who does not want to give their real name. Okay? So maybe you're working in a call center and you don't want to give your real name because it's like a really big name that people can't understand, or people find it very difficult to pronounce. In that case, you will use an alias name. Okay? I'm now going to take you through some expressions using the word name. So now we're going to look at some expressions using the word names. Okay, the first expression using this word is didn't catch your name. How do you catch a name or don't catch it? Okay, now this is an expression that you use when you are going to ask someone to repeat their name. Okay? So it's a polite way of asking someone to repeat their name. Why do we do this? Why do we ask someone to repeat their name? Sometimes we can't really hear people when they say their name the first time. We don't hear them properly or correctly, right? So if you want to really know what the person has said, this is a polite way of telling them to repeat their name. So when I say, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name, I'm asking you to repeat yourself once again. Okay, the next expression is, does the name ring a bell? This is more of a question, okay? And this question is used when you are asking if a particular name sounds familiar or if you recognize a name from somewhere. So you're asking them, does this name sound familiar? So if someone says, did you meet Karen? And you're like, who's Karen? You're thinking in your mind, who's Karen? So the person would say, does the name ring a bell? So you're thinking, is it Karen from the party we went to last Saturday? Or is it Karen from, school? You don't know, right? So does the name ring a bell is another way of asking if a particular name sounds familiar, or do you recognize that particular name from somewhere? Okay. This third expression using this word is protecting their good name. Okay. Why would you protect a good name? Over here, good name refers to the reputation. It could be the reputation of a company. It could be the reputation of a person. Okay. And if you are protecting your reputation, you are preserving your name or preserving your reputation. Do you know that when there is a certain theft that occurs in a company or in an organization, they tend to not let people know about it. Do you know why? Because they are trying to protect their good name. They don't want their company to be known as a place where theft occurs, right? So they will protect their name, they will preserve their reputation. People also preserve their own reputation. If someone talks bad about you, you don't like it, right? Because you want to protect your name, your reputation, okay? The next expression is make a name for yourself. Okay, this is an expression that you use when your work is well known. If you're a very good actor or a very good singer, and then you keep getting contracts to sing and act in various plays or in theater or at the stage, you have made a name for yourself because now people know you for your work, right? In other words, you also become a household name. So in your professional life, if you're well known for your work, you have made a name for yourself, people know you for your work, and therefore you become a household name. Very important word you want to make a note of, okay? The next one is call someone names. Okay, what is it to call someone names? This is a very bad thing. You don't want to do it because this is a very rude or offensive way of naming people. If someone's overweight, you call them fatty, not a very good thing. If someone's not a very good person, you call them stinky maybe, not a very good thing. So you don't call anyone names because that is a rude or offensive way of naming people, okay? People don't like it, so you shouldn't want to call anyone names. And the next one is you name it. You name it is a different way of saying everything you can imagine. Or another way of saying including everything. So you could say something like, let's talk deals with grammar, accents, pronunciation, you name it. Okay, so we're talking about everything you can imagine, we are including everything. So this is an expression that says you name it, which means including everything. Okay, and the last expression about names is don't want to name names. Sometimes you don't want to reveal names of people. Okay, so why would you not want to reveal someone's name? Well, sometimes people are involved in something very bad, but you know about it, but you'd rather not say, and therefore you don't want to name names. In other words, this is an expression that tells that you don't want to reveal names of people who are involved in something very bad. It could be something very illegal or something really bad that you want to hide. Well, that's it from me on this lesson on naming names. I am sure you found it very informative. If you have some other kind of names, please write into us.